Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like and subscribe. Man, I wanted to talk to somebody. I didn't really have an idea of who to talk to. It was kind of multiple people. So I said to myself, you know what? I've been telling myself as my New Year's resolution, I was going to start working on my social media, put up some posts, put up some videos. So I decided to get on here and talk to you. So I was just excited, and I had to tell everybody, you know, I feel like I figured something out and I started to make a pivot, and I doubled my revenue selling AI infrastructure to local businesses, you know. But here's the part that's going to annoy a lot of people, right? I didn't do it by selling AI chatbots, automated workflows, or fancy website templates. In fact, you know, you're currently trying to sell, if you're currently trying to sell $300 AI slop to a nail salon or a restaurant, you know, you're going to get burnt out, right? That's a fast track to burnout. Okay, you're selling bricks when you should be building bridges. Okay, so I'm going to go into detail, right? And I'm going to go over the systems I'm using. Maybe the next video, but in general, I just want to talk about a light bulb that just went off. Right, I went from a clueless entrepreneur trying to, you know, do a bunch of different things, following the latest trends, right? But now I feel like I finally figured it out. I finally have a solid business plan. And over the past 3, 4, 5 years, my business plan has been changing and evolving. And technology is moving so fast, it's probably going to continue to evolve. But I finally feel like I found a niche. I finally feel like I know what I'm doing, right? It's a lot to go over, so it's probably not going to all fit in this video. But again, I just want to kind of get this out there, okay? So, most people in this space, they're chasing volume, okay? They think that they could sell 100 people a $100 chatbot and they'll be rich, right? But the reality of business to business, low ticket clients are usually the worst clients, okay? And when you sell someone for $300, you're dealing with businesses that have paper thin margins and they don't have the budget to scale. They're stressed, and they'll turn on you the second they don't see a ROI. Okay, so they're making you do a lot of extra jumping through hoops for that small business, right? Because they can't afford to take a loss. They gotta see that turnaround immediately. Okay, and you're working 10 times harder to manage 100 bad clients just to you know make enough from 10 great clients, right? So, I mean, the lesson I learned was stop selling features, right? Stop selling things like chatbots and websites and start selling outcomes, right? I had to take a step back, and before we go any further, I just wanted to be 100% transparent. I'm an affiliate, okay, for some of these tools, and I'm going to go into detail as I said. I want to show you more. Um, and I'll put some information in the description as well. But I might earn an income, so if you're interested, go check. But again, I'm going to go into detail, right? Because I think it's going to be helpful for a lot of people. And I only recommend the stack that I actually use, right? When I do go into detail, right? So I'm going to tell you from personal experience, okay? And if anybody knows me, they know I have a sales background, and whether that's insurance or real estate or software, SaaS. Um, so, you know, I wanted to take a step back and figure out how do I leverage my experience? How do I leverage the software and make the most with my time? Because some things sell easier than others. For example, life insurance, it could be multiple calls, even though they want to tell you that it could you could close it one phone call. That hasn't been my experience. Um, sometimes it takes a lot of follow-ups. It'll take a combination of email, text, phone calls, which is where this software really comes into play. Okay, but then there's a lot of legal restrictions with the life insurance, so you can't really just throw it in a funnel the way you could with other things. Right now, you know, and then when you miss a call, it's like all that hard work goes down the drain, right? Then maybe they find someone else, maybe they lose faith in you. You know, I remember just not feeling comfortable not working. You know, it's just like I've been talking to a client for 6 months, and then because I missed one phone call, all that work goes down the drain. Okay. And then, when no one is picking up the phone, you know, it's like your ads are non-existent. All right. It's like a drowning or exhausting manual task that you have to do, or at least I thought, right? So it's like when the brick, for example, if you just sell them a website template, that's a brick. It's a piece of the solution, but it doesn't close the gap. The bridge, right? I built the whole thing. I provide the leads, the follow up, and the conversion infrastructure. Okay, so it's really easy to talk to a business owner, right? Because the business owner is that's the one thing I like about selling to businesses, right? Because you just have to put the dots together, and then they're interested. When you're selling to a client, right? You have to, they gotta you gotta build rapport. They gotta like you. They gotta. It's a whole thing. It's a whole other story. But when you're selling to a business, once you tell them that you can help them make money, they're all ears. Okay. So, you know, we actually built this bridge, you know, and I say we because I started this with a group of people, and this system helped me branch off to my own. But we started building this bridge without spending 20 hours a day coding, right? So we use AI generated video ads to get people into the funnel. It looks like, humans are talking, right? And it costs, you know, relatively nothing compared to the income that it generates. Okay? And this is the brain, right? The brain is the software, right? And again, there's different softwares, whether it's Go High Level or Auto Call AI, depending on the business, depending on different things. Like I say, with insurance, it's a lot more complicated as far as what you can do legally. But this is the brain of the operation, right? I don't use 10 different tools, right? I just use what is best for that particular company, right? That particular business, that particular client, okay? And for that software to host the entire CRM, the funnels, and the automation logic. If you want to build this, you need a central hub where the leads live, okay? And then the closer, right? Retail AI, for example, right? When a lead comes in through the system, whether that again that's Go High Level or whatever, right? An AI voice caller immediately rings them, immediately calls them. Okay. Now, this is not a human, right? That's a AI bot I set up on retail AI or AI caller, right? And it books the appointment directly into the Go High Level calendar. Now, the reason this is so powerful is that I've automated the entire sequence into Go High Level. The lead opts in, the AI calls, the appointment is booked, and the business owner gets a notification. All right. So if you want to see the exact workflow I use to keep my clients dependent on my services, I recommend starting a free trial using the link in the description. Okay. And it's the infrastructure that allows me to scale without a massive headcount. Okay. And, usually you would have to have an assistant, you have to have back office people. This takes care of all that, right? So the businesses see the value, right? Because you must be thinking, I'm not a developer, right? And I can't build this. So, and you don't have to, right? This is something that we could walk you through step by step, okay? Now, like I said, I'm going to go into detail in further videos, but I just want to kind of get this out there, because I do want to spend more time and attention teaching people, showing people what I'm doing, okay? But till next time, peace out.